What is up YouTube? This is Alex aka Foreign. RX Vega finally released. Some people have been waiting for this moment for over a year. Something interesting happened a few days prior to the embargo lift though, where AMD decided to shift the media's attention from Vega 64, the flagship, to the cheaper Vega 56. But that's a different topic. Now, let's look at what AMD brought to the table with the release of RX Vega. First of all, I will be talking about the cards at their MSRP, $499 US for the V64 and GTX 1080, $399 US for V56, and $349 US for the GTX 1070. I'm not accounting for mining prices here, which are an unfortunate reality right now. Vega 64 is in direct competition with the GTX 1080. In terms of raw teraflop performance though, the AMD card should be competing with the GTX 1080 Ti, and it is, but in gaming specifically, for reasons unknown, it can only compete with the GTX 1080. In games, the non-overclocked Vega 64 is more or less the same compared to a non-overclocked GTX 1080. It is fairly difficult to properly overclock the Vega card under reference coolers though, whereas the GTX 1080 can be overclocked even under a poor cooler. Overclocking Vega 64 does bring it ahead of the GTX 1080, but also increases the power draw to an unbelievable amount of over 350 watts for the card only. Overclocking an aftermarket GTX 1080 to over 2000 MHz still brings it very close to the overclocked V64, but consuming more than 50% less power. Vega 56 is a whole different story though, with the card being priced $50 higher than the GTX 1070. We should keep in mind that 1070s go for $450 or more USD right now thanks to coin miners, and I unfortunately think that the same fate awaits both V64 and V56. But when compared to the GTX 1070, Vega 56 does pack a few more punches. It is of similar performance out of the box, even though it consumes almost twice the power. Overclocking V56 will bring its performance not too far away from the V64, but it is unfortunately limited by power. AMD set a hard power limit at 300 watts here, not allowing Vega 56 to draw more if it needs to. If that were not the case, V56 would probably reach and overcome stock V64 levels of performance. Judging by the review of the cards, AMD just barely manages to compete with the 1080 and is somewhat faster than the 1070. What does this mean for gamers who are in the market for a new GPU though? Well, this is a different story. If you're in the market for a GPU in the $400 to $600 price range and own a G-Sync monitor, then the 1070 and 1080 are obviously the better choices here. I'd even say the only choices. If you have a regular non-adaptive sync monitor though, then try investing into one before buying a new graphics card. Now, when looking at the prices of G-Sync versus FreeSync monitors, FreeSync seems much more appealing as these guys are usually $150 to $200 cheaper. A 1440p 144Hz FreeSync monitor or even a 4K ultra-wide or even a multiple monitor setup with FreeSync, you will save more money than by going G-Sync, but have basically the same experience as with a G-Sync monitor. That's where I recommend getting an RX Vega card over an Nvidia. Of course, if you have the money, then a G-Sync monitor with a 1080 Ti is still the best on the market right now, but if your funds are even somewhat limited, a FreeSync plus RX Vega combo is more than a viable option. Let me know if you've been waiting for Vega as I have, and if you're actually planning to get one, or if you wanted it to decimate the 1080 Ti. Are you disappointed now and going to get a 1080? Fire off in the comments down below. Check out all sorts of links down in the description too, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more content like this. I thank you for your attention and hope to see you later.